Premier Hayato Ikeda of Japan finds himself caught up in a whirlwind of social activity upon his arrival in Washington to confer with the President and other U.S. officials. One reception is that given by Eric Johnston, head of the Motion Picture Producers Association. The Japanese are great fans of American movies, and there were trade agreements to be discussed. Later, at the White House, the Japanese premier has luncheon with the President and a former President. Mr. and Mrs. Eisenhower are guests at the affair, and Mr. Kennedy was able to brief Mr. Eisenhower and the premier on his Khrushchev meeting before holding further conferences with Mr. Ikeda aboard the presidential yacht. The Honey Fitz, named for the president's grandfather, cruised the Potomac for several hours as the two leaders conferred on economic relations between the two countries. The import of cheap Japanese textiles was one point touched upon, with the Japanese agreeing to curb the flood. The Premier's country is emerging as the greatest economic power in the East and ranks next to Canada as the largest purchaser of U.S. goods. The two men are setting up a unit to study the means of increasing trade between the two countries, while at the same time decreasing the friction caused by competition with locally produced goods. Key talks between East and West.
Is the scene of some of the most important talks the President has ever held with a foreign leader, those with Prime Minister Nehru of India. The two men take an informal walk around the White House grounds as they confer on Southeast Asia, the Berlin problem, and the status of nuclear tests. Mr. Kennedy is reported to have taken a firm position on nuclear tests, telling the neutralist leader that we'll take all necessary steps to stay ahead of Russia.
There's a downpour in Washington, but that can't put the damper on an official reception. A helicopter brings the King and Queen of Afghanistan to the White House grounds, where King Mohammad, Zahir, and Queen Humaira receive state greetings from President Kennedy. The crowd takes refuge under umbrellas, but not the official party. Mrs. Sergeant Shriver, the President's sister, acts as his official hostess as King and President ignore the elements. There was a steady downpour during the 15-minute ceremony, but, as the President said, there's a warm welcome in the hearts of all Americans. Neither snow, rain, nor sleet can stay the affairs of state. Somebody got to the weatherman. For the next day, it's a different story.